Hey guys, hope you're having a great day today. My name is Daniel, and in today's video I want to share something with you that has been helping me in my dumpster rental business, just across the board, but really just getting things into the right category, the right perspective that I should have as a business owner. So we'll go ahead and get right into it. So I just wanted to share with you, I have been writing things down. That's nothing new. There's nothing extra special about that. But being able to spread everything out. And in my mind, how I work, generally the biggest problem rises to the surface. It comes to the forefront of my mind in my process of being able to decide where I'm going to be, what I'm going to do, where my money's going to go, my resources, my time, which I can't get back, and financially, my money. What's the most important thing to focus on right here and right now, in the position that I'm in all these different categories. What is the next dollar that needs to be spent to build, to grow, to maintain, all of those things, and at the right time. And so I would just urge you, write stuff down. Now this is, of course, bigger things going on in your business. Hey, I want to grow. This year I've got a goal of adding 5 more cans, 10 more cans, whatever that looks like for you, as far as expanding and growing. But even down to the nitty gritty, I've got stuff written down like for my backup truck. Up until more recently, I've thought it's not worth it to get a backup camera. But when my truck has been down, I've of course been using my backup truck. And when I'm using my backup truck, I'm having to get in and out of the truck multiple times to be able to hook up to my dump trailer to get it dropped on the ball, because I just don't have a backup camera. It's very difficult with my backup truck. It is what it is, and it takes a lot of time. It's very frustrating. And for me, I've finally come to the decision it's worth it more to spend the 30, 50, I don't know how much more it would be, to at some point buy a backup camera for that truck. It's going to save me just a bigger headache than it's worth. But is it worth me spending that 50 bucks or whatever on a backup camera system, and then the time to do it now, versus maybe a bigger purchase, something that's going to be really, I need every dollar to account for. I need to be able to put every dime I've got available towards that, above just maintaining where I'm at, paying my monthly average normal bills. So being able to spread things out, for you to put all the big stuff maybe over here, put all the small stuff over here, and then just spread things out and say, okay, if I have a flat tire and I've got to have this trailer, rolling, or maybe you've got a flat tire in your truck, or new tires, like they're bald, they've got issues, maybe you're getting insurance. Maybe you haven't been running insurance, but now you are. You're trying to be as legal and legit as possible. I know a lot of guys just don't get insurance for some time till they can afford it. Really, you can't afford not to have it, but when we're doing this job, when we're running our businesses, we've got to be able to account for these things. For you to prioritize the things that are most needed. Now, whether that's competing for your time or your actual money, the dollars in the bank, going in, going out, cash flow in, cash flow out. I've really tried to yes, of course I already have some big picture ideas I have written down. I have thoughts, I have goals, I have and the steps to get to those goals, what it would take to get there, to walk that out. But on a day-to-day basis, we have a lot of things competing for our time, and if we're not thoughtful about being able to, okay, well, you've got $1,000 worth of bills, just to make it simple, for the month, but you've got $1,500. Everything else There is no guarantee that you're always going to be getting dumpster rentals next week, the week after that. To make sure you're able to pay your bills this month, you've got, let's say, an extra $500. Does that $500 go towards 3 of these small little things? A backup camera, another thing that I've got written down. It doesn't, just because I've got stuff written down doesn't mean that it's going to happen tomorrow. It's an absolute agenda. It's literally just, it's a thought, it's a want, maybe even it's a need, but maybe it's not a huge need. So a few other things is going to be, for me, I would like to get a hat with my logo, or Helper Dumpster Rentals, whatever that looks like, and then like a polo shirt, and just getting a little bit more of a branding picture when I do show up, rather than being in this. I'd like to be able to have that presence that's a little bit more uniform, and just start that process. I'm not saying that's going to be the hat and uniform that I'm always going to have. It's just a thought. It's a simple thought. And maybe there's things for you that, like a backup camera, like a hat and a t-shirt or something, it would be nice to have, but it's not an absolute priority right now. If you don't get it tomorrow, if you don't order it today, and the money goes out of the bank account, your business is still functioning. But if your tire blows up on the side of the road for your trailer, or if you can't pay your insurance, if you can't pay your registration on your trailer or your truck or whatever you got going on, like these important things you've got to prioritize. And for me, I've really been thinking things through a little bit more aggressively. We all do this in our day-to-day lives. We're all making decisions on what do I need to do next. And sometimes it takes longer. We procrastinate. We make poor decisions. We do things that are really not important when we could be doing things that are more important. This is nothing new for you and for me. But for me, it has really been a help to write, whether it's important right now or an immediate need, or if it's just a want. Put them in the different categories, spread it out on the paper, however you're going to write it out. I think it's good to look at all of them. I've got a note, whatever you call it, on my phone, on my Apple phone and iPhone, and it's just been huge for me to see it all laid out there. It gives me comfort to know, like, oh man, I need to buy that backup camera. Well, Daniel, there's other things at play here. There's more important things that I could be focusing on right now, and putting those dollars towards. Maybe, something happens and something like a backup camera, I don't know, I would want to put on the list. And maybe there's times where non-important wants become needs after a certain circumstances change. So anyways, being able to prioritize. I'm not here to tell you how to run your business specifically. I'm just trying to share with you, for me, this has been a great tool. It's just a tool. Being able to lay it all out, decide what's a want and what's a need, what has to happen and what you'd like to happen, and being able to put it into perspective on a monthly basis or whatever. Set some goals for maybe the wants. Hey, if at the end of this month I've got an extra X dollars amount still after that, and with the awareness of what season you're in, if you're going into the slow season and you're wanting to spend a whole bunch of money and you don't have guarantees of a certain dollar amount, as you're maybe smaller like me, growing in this business, maybe it shouldn't be the time for you to go buy some of these wants when you're just trying to make sure that you're able to pay your recurring monthly bills, your fixed costs, the not variable ones. You're just wanting to make sure that you're able to pay those, and maintain where you're at. I think this is a huge thing. It's a huge topic. I don't think people really stop to consider this that often. It's much easier to just kind of nod it off and say, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I'm controlling my business. Well, you're really just kind of being like, what's the game called? The old game, like Pong. You're the ball being bounced back and forth between the next thing that happens to become an issue for you, that you're like, oh, I guess this is the new priority now. This is my new #1 problem to fix. And you're getting just kind of tossed around. Now, of course, there's things that come up where you do kind of get thrown into a situation. You're like, well, I gotta fix this. I gotta take care of this. This becomes my new priority. But if that's what you're doing 24/7 all year long, that's going to be a problem. I've done that. I've been silly like that. It's very uncertain. That's a scary situation to be in all year long. If at all possible, my thought is just for me, to be a little bit more intentional about this. When you are setting yourself up for success, I'm trying to myself. If we're going to do this, if I'm going to do this, I know at this point now for sure, because I've seen how it works when I don't, and I've seen how it works when I do. If we're going to be successful, if we're going to not be the ball getting tossed back and forth, we've got to spread everything out, look at our needs, our wants, be able to say, I don't think I'm ready to be able to spend money on this, or invest a whole bunch of time in learning this to upgrade my business. I've got to focus on what I'm currently doing now, and I can get to that later. But put a pin in it. You're not saying no for forever. You're not saying I'm never going to purchase this new tool or new whatever, more equipment or something to expand. You're focusing on other things, and it's on the table. You're not taking things off the table. You are putting yourself in a functioning situation where you're able to make the decisions as they come up, yes, but you do have those priorities in place. You've got things positioned where they should be. So anyways, this is a thought for you. Maybe you're already doing this. Let me know down in the comments below. I think writing this stuff down is huge, and I'm really digging it. It's just, honestly, it's more of a relief to me at this point. It's not ping-ponging around in my mind, all these different things I've got to figure out, and I've got to touch, and I've got to invest my time in. It's simply, it's on the paper. I'm going to come back to my notepad on my phone, and I'm going to put, if something pops into my head, hey, I'm going to write this down. I'm going to make sure it's added to the list. It's important. I'm not minimizing it. I'm not devaluing it. It may not be today. Sometimes I also think that it may be good that you put it on the paper, and then down the road, if you don't actually, spend the money or do whatever you're going to do, that maybe you find out, oh, that wasn't a need, and honestly, you wanted it, but it's not really going to be a big help to you. It's not what you thought it was. So I think this could be a huge thing. Wait as long as you possibly can to, in the right circumstances, for the right things, I guess. Wait as long as you can. If it's truly a need, if it's truly a want that would really benefit you and kind of propel you forward and save time, save other things, it'll still be there. And if down the road it's not as much of an important thing, take it off the list. It's okay. You're not having to spend time just being thrown back and forth all over the place. So hopefully this was a help to you. Have a great day, guys, and stay safe. God bless.